Version 1 is an IT services and consultancy company, and next month we're 20 years old. So it was started by two guys, John Mullen and Justin Keating, both still with the business, and Justin is currently the CEO. Over the 20 years, we've sustained 30% growth year on year. Gets harder every year. And we're now up to 900 people, and next year we've just done our first 100 million budget, so it's a huge milestone to pass. And we're focused primarily in the UK and Irish markets. Our growth is half organic, 15% organic, and 15% through acquisition. So acquiring companies is a key part of our strategy, and that presents lots of opportunity and lots of HR challenges as well from an integration perspective. I think what has made us, helped us achieve that 30%, because we don't have a product or specific IP, so the barriers to entry are very easy in IT services, and there's lots of companies doing it. So what makes us special is that I think from very early stages, the acknowledgement that we are a people business, and if we can find the best people and retain the best people, then our customers will get a superior service, and we can grow within our customers. The old expression of culture eats strategy for breakfast. I actually think we live that. A lot of people talk about people being the most important thing, or culture, but then they focus back on the spreadsheet and on hard processes and hard systems. I think there's a recognition in here that, as Tom Peters would say, that the soft stuff is the hard stuff. So there's a lot of focus on the soft stuff. We plan our growth out, so we're currently planning how we grow from 1,000 people to 3,000 people and what challenges that presents. So, we don't just react to growth. So one of the things we would have decided on very early on was how important having a consistent, embedded, understood set of core values was. And both Justin and myself will be Jim Collins fans. We unashamedly have robbed much of his work and applied it, which is what it was intended for. But the core values that are up there are not aspirational. We put a lot of effort into understanding what makes version 1 successful. So that's why they're unusual. Like drive is not a value you get in too many places as a core value. But when we interview people, we look for people with drive, for example. No ego is a very unusual one, but if you read, if you met Justin, you would see that he absolutely is an exemplar of that core value. But if you look at Jim Collins's level 5 leadership, humility is one of the key facets of that. So these values are, as I said, they were not let's put the customer first. It was we always put the customer first. That's why we're successful. So it should be a core value. One of the consequences of the growth we have is that it's a very fast-paced environment, and there's lots of moving parts. And what we look for is people who can deal with ambiguity, that are highly adaptable to change and responsive, and that would exhibit the most signs of drive. The people who are most proactive, who have most initiative, who put their hand up most and say, I haven't done that before, but I'll try it. Those are the people that naturally come to the fore as leaders in version 1. We've just completed our 7th acquisition and our 5th in the UK, and our largest to date. So we've done acquisitions ranging from 15 people to 100 people. So we've a good spectrum to look at. Absolutely, integration is a core part of what I do. So the hard stuff, the systems, the IT infrastructure, the financials, they're actually really easy. They're done in a quarter. So we take our finance system, we implement it, we take our IT system and we map our architecture into theirs, and so on and so forth. So you're left with the hard thing, which is the culture. Absolutely, all the focus, if you do the material, the reading is on integration. I think that should be switched, that most of the focus should go on due diligence. And, in a reasonable mid-sized acquisition, you can pay 100k to your financial due diligence, and you can pay 100k to your legal due diligence. And how much do you pay for cultural due diligence? Very little. So very strong. And the most recent acquisition we did, we put a huge focus on understanding the culture. And while it's early days, but it seems to be by far the best acquisition we've done. If you're 1,000 people and you grow by 30%, that's fairly significant growth. So you cannot hire in the management you require for that growth, because a new manager in, it's a year learning curve. Failure rate can be quite high, so you need to have a stream coming through internally. So one thing we've done is we've got very good systems, very strong core values, very good processes. We've got our strategic triangle, really good communications. We share all the data with people. So this year I decided we were naturally set up to go down the road of self-directed teams. Concept that's been around for many, many years, not implemented that way. Still, most organizations are still command and control. But I've looked at it hard, and I say, yeah, we can tick all the boxes for what you need in self-directed teams. And it's repeatable, and it's not dependent on a couple of heroes. So that will be our platform for scaling, and we have started rolling it out this year, and it's really successful. So a team owns its own staff engagement, it owns its own profitability, and it owns its own customers. And the team figures out the solutions. So that makes it a more engaging place to work for the team members. They feel more autonomy, and for me, it eases scale. So for going forward, what that requires is leaders, not managers, because the teams will manage themselves. So what we need is leaders who can ensure that, the biggest challenge with self-directed teams is alignment. So ensuring that those teams are aligned with the strategy of the company. And that's a leadership challenge rather than a management. If you talk the next 24 months, I believe recruitment is going to be a massive challenge. For us, that's really good because our customers only hire small numbers of IT people and wouldn't have the same attractiveness as an IT environment to work in as version 1. So our customers are going to find it really difficult to hire IT people, which means they're going to come to us. So it's going to increase our demand. So it's up to me to solve the problem of how do we recruit. So that is an upcoming challenge. I have assembled a team of marketing people, and I've hired in recruitment former recruitment consultants. So I've taken it out of HR because it is a marketing sales challenge. In the UK, we're now made up of 5 acquisitions. So I have a cultural program to embark on. You know, we're already talking to our 6th one, which could happen in Q3 next year. That would put us up heading for 500 people in the UK, but made up of 6 different acquisitions. So I have a program called 1v1, one version 1, that I need to roll out in the UK in order to ensure that we grow the UK with the same consistency and strength of culture as we have here. And then the third thing, the focus, which I alluded to earlier, will be on leadership. So, you know, we're looking at a 3,000 person company, so I as a leader need investment. And so do the guys around me. And we haven't invested in ourselves in the last number of years. We've been investing in the managers coming up, but investing in ourselves and the senior managers to turn them into leaders so that we can lead this to 3,000 people. So that's the 3 HR challenges I've been working on. The number one thing I would look for is execution. As a profession, it's probably the thing that disappoints me most about HR is inability to execute. Lots of good ideas, lots of highly educated people, a lot of masters in the HR profession, but when you go into companies, they lack the strength of character, the strength of conviction, possibly the legitimacy within their organisation as well to challenge CEOs, COOs, senior management teams to execute the programmes they know they should be executing. I think it's really important that you learn the business you're in. It's getting into the business, adding value because you know what the business is, and then it is executing. And I think that the last point to say is I always try to get outside of HR. So in here I run IT, marketing, integrations, heavily involved in acquisitions. You know, we've 8 premises that have to be managed as well, and another area called performance improvement, which is looking at all our business processes to see how we can get more efficient and reduce costs. So that's a big remit for a HR guy, but you know, over the years I have never confined myself to HR, and I think a lot of HR people go in and say, I'm a HR professional, they narrow themselves, so say broaden out.